Fresh bedding makes everybody happy. Oh, don't lick the phone, cowboy. Are you trying to kiss everybody? He's kissing you. What I'm actually going to be doing and what I'm doing right now is I'm sort of keeping an eye on my goats, really gauging them during winter. Winter can be really tough. The ups and downs and it gets really, really wet, a lot of rain. You have to watch for pneumonia and all listeriosis and all kinds of strange, weird things all the time. That's the one thing about goats, y'all. But I'm also sort of gauging which mamas I want to put with Rip fairly soon. It's not like today yet or anything, but maybe in a couple weeks. So I'm sort of trying to figure out who makes the best mama and who makes the best milker. I got a few to pick from. It's you again. It's you again. Are you going to show everybody your beer belly? You going to show everybody your beer belly? Oh, Fritz. What you doing, hunky man? Huh? You're being hunky? You're going to make me stink. I know, and you love it. You're going to have a lot of girls here. A lot of girlfriends very soon. I know. Oh. Should I buy roses for them for you? Well, I mean, we could. I don't know. Valentine's Day's coming up, Rip. We're going to talk about this. So hey guys, good morning. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. It's the next day. I'm gonna put some clips in from yesterday with the goats because right now is an important time on our farm to be planning lots of things. Goat babies. How are we expanding with the turkeys? Are we gonna get more barn cats? And maybe a new livestock guardian dog. So see, we're planning lots of different things right now, but currently, we're feeling the burn. There he goes. But here's the deal. So I got a question today. I'm trying to keep y'all out of the wind. I know, I'm sorry. I got a question about an hour ago from a gal, and she was very nice, okay? And she wanted to know, basically, is it more economical for her to buy eggs from the store right now, or should she just go get her own chickens? I love talking about stuff like this. Let's go. Yes, if you hear barking in the background, that is Enoli. My 4 to 5 does that are living down by my chicken coop come up, walk the driveway in front of Enoli, and it drives her bananas. So if you hear barking, that's what's going on. Cochise is chilling with the turkeys right now. He don't care. So here's the deal. I say good morning. Say we're getting our walks in. Yes, we are. Okay, so here's the deal. Okay, first and foremost, I'm going to say this because no matter what you do, somebody somewhere, help them, Lord, help them. I am not trying to convince anybody to do anything one way or another. I'm just giving you my opinion. And as you know, opinions are like everybody's got one, right? So here's the bottom line. You have to do what works best for you, your family, your farm, your home, wherever you are. You do what works for you. Don't you do what I do. Don't you do what someone else does. Because you know what? Just like anything else on the planet, when times get tough or things get hard or you're sick, or all these people who are quick to tell you what you must do or have to do, are they going to show up and take care of you and your kids and your farm in tough times? No, they're not. So you have to do what works best for you. Okay. Now, I've had chickens for many, 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 many years. Here's what people don't understand right now, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it is true. If they don't have a farm, a homestead, heck, if they just, don't really have anything beyond a gerbil, it's hard for them to conceptualize what it's like to spend the time and money on these things. It's just because they don't have the experience. It's not because they can't do it, okay? I don't know what it's like to run a thoroughbred farm, okay? Because I don't have thoroughbreds, okay? So it would be a learning curve. But here's what I know. We have a lot going on with inflation, the food supply chain, the supply chain, and all sorts of things right now. You probably have figured that out by now, or you probably wouldn't be watching my channel. that affects every single thing that every single farmer or homesteader does. James is walking. He is just going at it. So if you hear that, that's James walking. Okay. The cost of feed for us has... James, would you say our chicken feed has doubled? He says not quite. Close? Okay. So we buy our chicken feed from an awesome food, a small farm supply company. Okay. It's a family-owned little business. They don't mark up their stuff like hardly at all. I know this for a fact. Okay, they work their business off of volume, which is why they've been so successful, because they work on volume versus just this huge margin in price markup. But I can tell you, on just chicken feed, we're pretty doggone close to double. Okay, I don't go to Tractor Supply, Rural King, or all these other places and buy my stuff. I go to a private farm supply company. Okay. Now, if you were to go to, which a lot of people do, the places that I just mentioned, depending on where you live and what you do, you're going to probably, I'm guessing, because see, what I pay in East Tennessee is not what you're paying in Arkansas versus Illinois versus New Hampshire. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. This is not a black and white, cut and dry, one size fits all scenario. You have to know what's going on in your area. We're paying somewhere, what, 15 bucks roughly? Our basic bag of chicken feed, 16%, no, nothing fancy, not even organic, is around $15 a bag, okay? Some of y'all are paying up to $26 or more a bag. Believe me, egg people are going to be commenting all down here, and they're going to be telling you what they're paying. That doesn't mean corn, cracked corn, scratch, supplements, minerals, bedding. It doesn't mean anything else that we have to do. I'm just talking about basic chicken feed. So my point is James and I were talking before we came up here to do our walk, and I said, okay, if you had some chickens, and let's say you're a family starting out with chickens. Let's create a scenario here. Let's say you're the basic little family and you want to get 4 to 6 hens. That's typically what most people do. They get 4 to 6 hens. No roosters, hopefully, right? I know the deal. Because they typically, in a lot of places where they live, they can't have a rooster, but they might be able to have 4 or 6 hens. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, let's be conservative, okay? I'm going off the top of my head. If you have 4 to 6 hens, I'm going to guesstimate that you could easily, even with scraps and stuff, you're probably going to buy 2 bags a month, okay? Let's just say that's the scenario. 2 bags a month. So you're looking at, in my cost, in my land, in my world right now, well, actually, let me back that thing up. If I was a family right now local buying chicken feed and I had to go to some of these bigger stores, I'd be paying more than $15. But we'll just stick with that. Let's just say you're paying $15, not including tax, because you're probably going to have to pay tax. 15 plus per bag. So that's $30+ a month just for chicken feed, nothing else. That doesn't include your cute little coop, your extra fencing, your pine shavings, an occasional straw bale, anything else, okay? Nothing else. Now, I want you to think about that price, and then I want you to have an honest conversation with yourself on, okay, well, how many eggs do I go through in a week to a month, realistically? Do you go through a dozen a week? Okay. Then you need to look at how much is a dozen eggs right now. Do that simple math, and that's going to tell you what you want to do. Now, if you are just bent on having chickens and learning and self-sustainability, and you're trying to get, then your answer is what it is. But here's what I'm trying to tell you. If you think you're going to save money, especially right now with having, well, pretty much any farm animal, you are most likely in la-la land. This is why we urge you so much to please buy local, and support your local farmers, because we have an absolute concept of how much money these people have spent and are continuing to spend. So you have to have this conversation with yourself, but more importantly, I want to stress this on this video. there's a lot more to this than just money. Okay, there is also the aspect of time. Chickens are probably the easiest, if you just have a couple, might be overall of all your farm animals, they're probably going to be the easiest ones for you to have for the return, okay? Because you're going to get beautiful eggs, right? And you know, I don't see most people that are starting out with chickens and they're just getting like a half dozen hens. They probably aren't going to cull them for meat. They're going to have them as what some of you would call a hobby farm or as a pet. That's fine. But you're still going to learn and you're still going to get beautiful eggs. Now, can we compare chicken eggs? Honey, you can't buy anything at the store to compare to the eggs my girls give me. And all the people that have chickens that are going to be commenting on this video, you can't beat it. So it comes down to what do you want to do? But I'm not trying to convince you to not get chickens, but I'm not going to convince you necessarily to get chickens if you don't know what you're getting into, okay? We can make videos all day long, and I have for many, many years, on how wonderful our chickens are and how much we love them and all of these things. But if you're one of these people that's having trouble with your grocery bill, the last thing you probably need on this planet is something else to feed. You probably have enough on your plate as it is. Did you see them? I just literally just walked right up on them. I'm going down to the chicken coops. And that set that I keep telling you about, they're just right there. I just walked. I was like, well, hello. Okay, so we've gotten rain and we've gotten snow. So the run is wet. So I'm going to have to put in a bag of pine shavings. What are these, James? Probably $6 to $8 each.
I think they're a little bit more than that.
A little bit more than that?
About 7.
But you're going to find, see, this is the thing. For those of you that have never had chickens, it's not just about buying a bag of chicken feed and throwing it out there. You're more than likely, from time to time, going to have to buy a lot more than just a bag of chicken feed. Okay, James, we started the day off with 2 whole eggs because it got really cold last night. We got snow. So we just gave out a whole bucket of feed, and we're spending $15+ per bag of feed, and this is just for the Silky Chalet. So I'm trying to kind of go through the idea of, is it more cost effective for you just to bite the bullet and pay for eggs for people that don't have chickens, or should they just go and get 4 to 6 hens? What are they looking at?
Well, if they go to get 4 to 6 hens, they have to understand that the initial investment is going to be $500-600 unless they've got enough material around to make a coop. But
right.
You have to buy the coop otherwise. You have to buy feed, you have to buy the chicks, you have to buy a feeder, you have to have something to water them in, and then you have to have pine shavings. So there's a pretty substantial initial cost to get into it. And then you have to wait until they actually start laying eggs before you can start to recover any of that cost.
But here's the thing. Even if once you get to that point where they're laying the eggs, I went through the whole scenario where we went through kind of in the kitchen. If you're buying 2 bags of feed per month minimum and you're spending $15+ a month on feed, is that going to be cheaper than just going? I mean, I know paying $8 to $10 for a dozen eggs is outrageous for a lot of people. I agree. But are you really coming out ahead by the time you do all the things? I mean, it would be an endless amount of time before you would actually break even. Now, I also said, though, and you tell me, I mean, obviously you can't beat this quality. So you have to say to yourself, it's worth it no matter what. I'm learning no matter what. I'm teaching my kids no matter what. This is better nutrition no matter what. So you have to weigh all of these things out. But I hate to say it, money doesn't even need to enter the equation, because if you think you're going to be breaking even to making money, that's no longer a factor for small homesteads and farms anymore. And that's why this is why I'm making this, is I don't want to encourage people to go get anything or do something that in 6 months they can't keep up with anymore, they can't afford anymore, or they don't have any help with. And then guess what? You've invested all this time and money and you have 6 hens that nobody wants to take care of anymore. And you lost money. And I think that's an unfortunate scenario for a lot of people right now. If they are not set up if they don't already have chickens, if they don't already understand the time and money invested in it, I think you really need to do the math and see it through.
I agree, yeah, because it's the ratio is such that you'll get in over your head if you weren't established prior to inflationary costs.
Right.
And it's just, you know.
It is what it is. See, this is why we've been urging people for so many years prior to especially the last 6 months to a year. Please do this. Think about doing this. Go invest in this. Think about this, because it's just like anything else. It gets to a point where the price pushes you out of the potential. So I'm not trying to talk them out of it by no stretch of the imagination, but I think somebody somewhere needs to be realistic in telling people the time and money that it takes, because we don't want you to fail. Right?
I agree, yeah.
All right, you want an omelet?
Yes.
We appreciate you guys being here. We're doing all our chores and walks and all of these things this morning, and I got this question and we wanted to answer it because we don't want you to be misled out there. We want you to do what works best for you, your family, and your farm, but really think about it before you just go and it's just like anything else. You need to take the time to think about it, go look at prices, and do simple, realistic math, and you're going to come up with your answer.
And make sure that if you choose to get them, that you have the time and the money to invest so that they are healthy and you're happy.
That's right. Guys, we appreciate you being here. Like, subscribe, and share. Do what works best for you, and we'll see you on the next video. Excuse me, why did you vlog me? You haven't done that in forever. What's up? You don't like the cold weather? Hey, old man, what you doing?